Good morning, myself I'm R. Akshaya. I'm from CSIT branch. Today, COA subject tech concept is the evolution of instruction sequencing. Instructions and instruction sequencing. The tasks carried out by a computer program consist of a sequence of small steps such as adding two numbers, testing for a particular condition, reading a character from the keyboard, or sending a character to be displayed on a display screen. A computer must have instructions capable of performing four types of operations: data transfers between the memory and the registers, such as move, push, pop, exchange; arithmetic and logical operations on data, add, sub, multiplication, division, and or not; program sequencing and control, such as call, return, loop, instruction, IO transfers in and out. Register transfer notation. Here we describe the transfer of information from one location in a computer to another. Possible locations that may be involved in such transfers are memory locations, processor registers, or registers in the IO subsystem. Most of the time we identify such locations symbolically with convenient names. The possible locations in which transfer of information occurs are memory location, processor register, and registers in IO device. Assembly language notation. To represent machine instructions and programs, assembly language format is used. Move location R1 and add R1, R2, R3. In move location R1, transfer data from memory location to register R1. The contents of LOC are unchanged by the execution of this instruction, but the old contents of the register R1 are overwritten. In add R1, R2, R3, add the contents of register R1 and R2 and place their sum into register 3. Basic instruction types. There are four types of basic instruction types. There are 3 address, 2 address, 1 address, and 0 address. In 3 address, the syntax is opcode source 1, source 2, destination. Example: add A, B, C. The description is: add the contents of memory locations A and B, then place the result into location C. In 2 address type, opcode source, destination, add A, B, add the contents of memory locations A and B, then place the result into location B, replacing the original contents of this location. Operand B is both a source and a destination. 1 address, opcode source, destination. Load A, add B, and store C. Copy contents of memory location A into accumulator. Add contents of memory location B to contents of accumulator register and place sum back into accumulator. Copy the contents of the accumulator into location C. 0 address, opcode, no source, destination. Push. Locations of all operands are defined implicitly. The operands are stored in a push-down stack. Instruction execution and straight line sequencing. The program is executed as follows. Initially, the address of the first instruction is loaded into PC. Then the processor control circuits use the information in the PC to fetch and execute instructions, one at a time in the order of increasing addresses. This is called straight line sequencing. During the execution of each instruction, PC is incremented by 4 to point to next instruction. There are two phases for instruction execution: fetch phase, execution phase. The instruction is fetched from the memory location and placed in the IR. In execution phase, the contents of IR is examined to determine which operation is to be performed. The specified operation is then performed by the processor. We can see a straight line program for adding n numbers. Program explanation. Consider the program for adding a list of n numbers. The address of the memory locations containing the n numbers are symbolically given as number 1, number 2, number n. Separate add instruction is used to add each number to the contents of register R0. After all the numbers have been added, the result is placed in the memory location sum. Instruction sequencing is complicated by interdependencies between instructions. High performance systems use a number of strategies to address these interdependencies and improve performance. Some designers could not readily decrease the memory cycle time. Then they increased the instruction bandwidth by fetching more than one instruction from memory at a time. More specifically, the number of these instructions N1 had to be sufficient for continuous operation of the processor. Designers employed wide words and interleaving to achieve the required instruction bandwidth. Memory bandwidth. Prior to the commercial introduction of semiconductor memory, a significant imbalance existed between the values of T1 and the magnificent core memory cycle Tm. Bipolar transistor technology and higher degrees of pipelining had reduced the values of T1 and Te, but the value of Tm for magnetic core memory technology did not decrease at the same rate. To realize higher instruction execution rates in systems with this imbalance, designers developed enhanced memory organizations. Next, we get into the topic called as stacks. A stack is a list of data elements, usually words or bytes with the accessing restriction that elements can be added or removed at one end of the stack. End from which elements are added and removed is called the top of the stack. Other end is called bottom of the stack. Also known as push down stack, last in first out stack. Push, placing a new item onto the stack. Pop, removing the top item from the stack. Stacks. Data stored in the memory of a computer can be organized as a stack. Successive elements occupy successive memory locations. When new elements are pushed onto the stack, they are placed in successively lower or address locations. Stack grows in direction of decreasing memory addresses. A processor register called as stack pointer is used to keep track of the addresses of the element that is at the top at any given time. A general purpose register could serve as a stack pointer. This is a stack pointer processor with 65536 bytes of memory, byte addressable memory, word length is 4 bytes. First element of the stack is at bottom. SP points to the element at the top. Push operation can be implemented as subtract #4 SP move A SP. Pop operation can be implemented as move SP, B, add #4, SP. Subroutines. In a program, subtasks that are repeated on different data values are usually implemented as subroutines. When a program requires the use of a subroutine, it branches to the subroutine. After a subroutine implements execution, the calling program continues with execution instruction immediately after the instruction that called the subroutine. Subroutine may be called from many places in the program. Recall that when an instruction is being executed, the PC holds the address of the next instruction to be executed. Way in which a processor makes it possible to call and return from a subroutine is called subroutine linkage method. The return address could be stored in a register called as link register, call instruction, return instruction. We can see return instructions cycle. Subroutines and stack. For nested subroutines, after the last subroutine in the nested list completes execution, the return address is needed to execute the return instruction. This return address is the last one that was generated in the nested call sequence. Return addresses are generated and used in a last in first order. Push the return addresses onto a stack as they are generated by subroutine calls. Pop the return addresses from the stack as they are needed to execute return instructions. Assembly language. Recall that information is stored in a computer is a binary form in a patterns of zeros and ones. Such patterns are awkward when preparing programs. Symbolic names are used to represent the patterns. When we write programs for a specific computer, the normal words need to be replaced by the acronyms called mnemonics. Example, move, add, increment. A complete set of symbolic names and rules for their use constitute a programming language referred to as assembly language. Programs written in assembly language need to be translated into binary namely or machine language form. Translation from assembly language to machine language is performed by an assembler. Each mnemonic represents the binary pattern or opcode of the operation performed by the instruction. Assembly language must also have a way to indicate addresses mode being used for operand addresses. Sometimes the addressing mode is indicated in the opcode mnemonic. Assembly language allows programmer to specify other information necessarily to translate the source program into an object program. The statements which provide additional information to the assembler to translate source program into an object program are called assembler directives or commands. The figure shows interrelationship of timing parameters for instruction sequencing. Future methods. Based on available technology and cost trade-offs, each period of computer design is characterized by different approaches to instruction sequencing. It is appropriate as a new decade begins to evaluate the options and constraints the designers face. The present trend is computer design tends towards orthogonal in instruction sets, single cycle execution for most instructions, effective use of regular pipeline designs, and heavy dependence on compiler optimization. Instruction scheduling is now primarily a compiler task even for emerging superscalar designs that can execute more than one instruction per cycle. Based on existing technology, the approaches to increasing the uniprocessor performance are relatively few: larger caches, cache hierarchies, improved branch prediction techniques, and better compiler technology. Despite the head start of RISC, the alternatives that better use the aggregate memory bandwidth may become feasible. Instruction sequencing has been a key aspect in computer architecture for several decades. Although today's computer designer can choose from a wide variety of organizations, the interaction between memory and processor remains a focal point in the design of high performance systems. The evolution of instruction sequencing has come full circle, and TM is the same major bottleneck in the 90s that it was in the 50s. We believe that the general purpose computer architecture of the next decade will evolve to feature a proactive memory organization to supply instructions to the execution unit to bridge the increasing gap between memory and processor speed. Thank you.